Or be it your place in 10. We'll hit that all-night diner and then we'll see.
Welcome everybody to the Yo Dude podcast channel. My name is Ant, and as some of you may know if you follow on Instagram or if you're just finding us, I do keto for a lifestyle. That is a lifestyle that I started about 2 months ago, but I am about 6 months into my weight loss journey. I started April 24th of 2018 at 248.6 pounds. That is the second highest weight I've ever been at, and it was the highest I'd been at in quite a long time. I let myself kind of get away from myself, I guess, being a dad of 3 children and a husband and somebody who works a full-time job. I was unable to see the slow progression of gradual weight gain, and I saw a picture of myself from about a year ago, and was like, wow, that's not me. That's not somebody that I would expect to be myself. That's not how I feel internally. But my exterior didn't match my interior, and therefore it was kind of shocking. From there, I didn't do anything for maybe a week. I was like, I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna put a stop to it. I'm gonna go back to my athletic ways and get straight. But it kind of fell to the wayside pretty quick, and didn't think too much of it for a long time. And then April 23rd of this year, I for whatever reason decided I was going to step on a scale to see how I was doing, and I noticed a number 248.6 that was disturbing to me. I have a young son who is under 2 years old and 2 daughters who are over 10, and the mortality of life in that moment sort of hit me. If I don't take care of myself, I'm not going to be around to see these kids grow up, or to see their kids grow up, or so on and so forth. Not getting any younger. I'm 35, and something just snapped. I wrote a note in my phone that said the exact weight that I was, and basically said, this is do or die time. I need to make a change or continue going down this road of getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And for me, there was really no question. It needed to be getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So that's where the journey started. 6 months ago, basically today, because today is October 23rd as I record this. I figured time was ticking. I needed to make a change, and I needed it to be fast. And so, being the podcast listener that I am, I searched around for some podcasts, but I also had some podcasts that I had listened to. A lot of people talking intermittent fasting. So I figured, let's do some research, figure this out. So I started with intermittent fasting, and that helped quite a bit. I got myself down from that 248.6 number to about 225. On my best day, I was about 222. But for weeks after getting to that point, I just stayed there, 222, 225, 222, 225, somewhere in between there. And I knew that 222 was better than 248, but it wasn't good. It wasn't what I wanted to be at. I'm a 6 foot tall male, and 222 is a lot of weight to be carrying around, especially when it's not muscle. And so I knew I needed to lose some more. So continuing to listen to podcasts, I heard about this thing called keto, which I had heard about before in passing a little bit on some podcasts, but never really paid too much attention to it. until, for whatever reason, one day it triggered me to go look it up and figure out kind of the details of it. So I kept hearing about keto. Heard it from Joe Rogan. I heard it on the Pat McAfee show, him doing keto. Brendan Schaub from The Fighter and the Kid does it. And I just decided I obviously listened to all three of those podcasts, and all three of them are pretty athletic guys. Two of them professional athletes, and one of them just an insanely in shape guy. So obviously they're all smart too. So let's check this out. So I check it out, and I was a little nervous, honestly. I looked at it; it didn't really make a ton of sense to me. You mean I'm going to eat a ton of fat and a ton of protein, not eat a ton of carbs, and basically that's going to work? That seems a little weird. Definitely goes against the conventional thinking of what I was taught all growing up. But I said, what do I have to lose? I'm sitting here at 222 to 225, and I'm stalled. And these guys were all in great shape. So let's check this out. So I said I'm going to do about a week of research, find everything I can out, and decide then if I'm going to do it. So listen to a bunch of stuff, read a bunch of articles, and I happened to type in keto, what you can eat on keto or something like that into YouTube, and I happened to come across Keto Connect. So Keto Connect, which is Matt and Mega, they are a couple that live a ketogenic lifestyle. So watched that for quite a bit, video after video after video after video, seeing all the things you can make. It didn't seem like you would have to really not eat some of the things that you really like. You just have to adjust them. And also, they would talk about sweeteners that you could use, or things to look for, and explain their things in a very simple way that made it all make sense when you really start to think about it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get into this. This is what I'm gonna do. So 2 months ago today, I started keto at 222, 222.6 I think it was, and over the last 2 months I have worked my way down to 189.6, and that is the lowest I've been since my children were born, any of them. That is by far mind-blowing, that in 4 months I was able to get down about 23 pounds on intermittent fasting. And to be blatantly honest, my intermittent fasting was a terrible experience. I do intermittent fast now as well, but it was a lot different not on keto. I felt hungry all the time. I was counting down seconds to when I could eat. It did result in me eating less calories and eating probably better foods because of the nature of my job. I am constantly on the go, so picking up convenient foods, which aren't always the most nutritious for you, wasn't good. So I was able to skip all that and eat food at home more often and better food. So that did help. But 4 months to get down 23 pounds roughly, and then basically to get down 31 pounds has only taken me about 2 months. And a lot of that has been through watching and learning from other people and expanding, better ways to even get even more optimal inside of keto. So the title of this video is Why Keto? So that is essentially why I got into keto. For me, keto was a thing that I was going to lose a ton of weight on, right? All these people are like, you're going to get shredded, you're going to feel better, you can eat whatever you want, basically, as long as it doesn't have carbs in it. Sounds great, right? It also sounds a little untrue. And as I got into it, I definitely was like, this can't be right. I'm eating things that I like, food that I like. I mean, I'm eating fried eggs, sausage, bacon, avocados, for breakfast. I mean, that's going to help me lose weight. Okay. Steak. I can eat steak. Basically, a bunch of cheese. It's weird that it works, and it does. But like I said, listening to all of these podcasts and YouTubers and following people on Instagram that do this as a lifestyle, you really understand that it is a lifestyle. It's not a diet. Because to be honest, I have lost a ton of weight, and I don't see any reason to go back to my old way to eating. Why would I go back to eating carbs that put me up to 250 pounds almost and felt like garbage? My knees hurt. Like I said, I'm an old man. I'm 35, and my knees hurt, and I'm just sitting there, and I have no pain in my body. My inflammation is down. I feel great. I don't feel the need. I don't feel hungry. I feel amazing, and I don't feel like anything is sacrificed in feeling amazing. So easy lifestyle. So for me, that's why keto. One, it's an easy lifestyle to maintain. Yes, you have to do a little prepping and you have to change your ways a little bit, but it becomes a really routine really fast. So you can pick up things that you necessarily didn't do before, like maybe meal prepping or taking a little extra time to cook a breakfast at home, or even intermittent fasting and then eating your food once you get home from work. I don't think about food at work, which is something that basically for the entirety of my 8 to 12 hour shift, depending on how long the day was, I was thinking constantly about food, where I could get it. Maybe I'll stop at this gas station and grab that. Maybe I'll pick up this thing over here. I don't do that anymore. I don't even think about food. Make sure I stay hydrated. You know, I'll maybe a Powerade Zero, maybe a Gatorade Zero. Maybe I'll take a Zevia with me. Coffee always is a good option. Got to start the day with coffee with some heavy cream in here. Pretty awesome. And that's just kind of the things you have to do. You pre-plan and you look forward and you make things the way you need them. But that's like the hardest part. Everything else is pretty easy. You can eat pretty much anything once you start getting into looking at labels. Once you've started, you know what you can eat and what you can't eat, and what probably has carbs and what net carbs are. Obviously, total carbs, minus your dietary fibers and some of the sugar alcohols will take you down in net carbs and keep you in ketosis. I mean, I use Chronometer to track everything. I still track everything, but I know a little bit more intuitively what I'm eating and what I can eat, what I have in my fridge that is going to be keto friendly for me. None of my family's on keto. I have donuts sitting over on my counter right now. I have no urge to eat them. Donuts were a big problem for me before. That's the way it is. I have candy in our pantry. Big problem for me. Guess what? I don't even think about it now. As a matter of fact, I tried some Smarties a couple days ago just to see, because it's been a while since I've had actual candy. They don't even taste good. Like, it just doesn't. It's not something I want anymore. My sweet tooth is gone. That was one of my biggest problems. So for me, keto has made life simple. It's made life really easy. It's also, in a weird way, even though I'm the only person in my house doing keto, I've found a community. I know this is going to sound weird, but podcasts I listen to, the Keto Diet podcast with Leanne Vogel, and Keto for Normies with Matt and Mega from Keto Connect, Fat for Weight Loss with Aaron Day. I watch AD Keto's YouTube along with obviously Keto Connect and a bunch of others. Keto_Peck on Instagram. All these people feel like they're friends, even though I don't know any of them, because I see them and we live a similar lifestyle. We're all on keto. We're all doing something that is good for us and our bodies, and by them posting videos, podcasts, pictures of their food, of the things they can eat, enjoying it, showing people, look, this isn't something that I have to feel like, oh, I'm on the keto diet. This is what I get. It's like, hey, I'm on a keto diet. This is awesome. This is my keto lifestyle. and that's pretty awesome. So all of those people keep me going. I look at their posts, I look at their videos, I listen to their podcasts, the Keto Diet podcast with Leanne Vogel. It's pretty awesome. I think it's more geared for females, but that's fine. I listen to it, I think, and I get a lot out of it myself. Also, my wife, who is not keto, I've recommended her to listen to it a couple times. It gives her, I guess, a perspective on some other things that I'm doing. I know she had some worries when I started by eating so much fat and all this kind of stuff, and she's starting to even take some more initiative in her own eating habits to make herself feel better. It's not keto, but it's working for her, and that's kind of the thing. You know, if it works for you, that's the thing that's sustainable. And for me, keto is sustainable. So I really enjoy it. I hope you guys would like, to listen to all those. I'll, list them here again. So the Keto Diet Podcast, Leanne Vogel, Keto for Normies with Matt and Mega from Keto Connect, Fat for Weight Loss by Aaron Day is pretty awesome. I've been binging that one because I just kind of recently got turned on to that one. And then YouTube, I really love Keto Connect, AD Keto, a couple other ones. I just didn't write them down, and I don't want to send you in the wrong place. Follow all of those people on Instagram for sure, and then Keto_Peck on Instagram as well. And then through listening to the podcast, you're gonna hear about Keto Savage. Follow him. The Vegas Fueled by Fat, I think it is, family, something like that. Follow them. You'll find a bunch of people that are really awesome people who are also in the keto realm. Dr. Berg, a bunch of them, and you'll feel like it's a family, kind of a community, and you won't feel alone, even if you're doing it by yourself in a family of 5. And that's the other point is, even in a family of 5, some people would think, oh, my wife thought this. Oh, you're gonna have to, our bill's gonna go up because you're gonna have to do all this extra stuff to do keto. And it's not. I'll adapt their meals most times. My wife made enchilada bowls in the crock pot. Before she added rice, beans, corn, and all that kind of stuff, I just pulled out a chicken breast. She shredded everything else up. I shredded mine up, threw some tomatoes on a plate, which were going to be used in the meal anyway, avocado, and some queso fresco. And now I have a meal, and I'm eating with my family while they're eating their meals. It's not as hard as you think to get started or even adapt inside of a family atmosphere, even if you're the only one doing it. So I feel better, and I'm going to be around longer for my kids and my wife, and that's important to me. So that's why keto for me. I'm always open if you want to DM me or email me or whatever. Follow us on Instagram. It's Yo Dude Podcast on Instagram. Really easy follow. And then the last part of the video, I just really want to kind of go into this channel isn't just a keto channel. It is a full-blown, just kind of everything channel. So we do the Yo Dude Podcast. We will be relaunching that coming very shortly with me and my best friend, Jay. And he is awesome. He's an ex-military vet, awesome father of his family, and just an all-around knowledgeable guy. Loves sports, loves daily fantasy sports, which is where we met, and just a bunch of other things, music, movies, comedy, you name it. We talk about all that on our podcast. There's going to be segments when we relaunch. It's going to be really awesome, so you'll be able to see just an array of our personality. We'll talk keto on there. We will talk sports. We will talk entertainment. We'll talk comedy. We'll talk news from just general. Every little thing will be covered on there. It'll be awesome. We'll also be making other videos. I'll be making recipe videos. I'll be making maybe day of eating videos. Maybe just me ranting videos like this. Not that this is a rant, but me just sitting here talking to you guys. So definitely feel free to follow us. It's going to be a pretty awesome experience going forward, and really look forward to connecting to you guys. I'm still fairly new to this. I'm 2 months into keto, but I know it's a lifestyle that I'm going to be living for a long time. It's something that's made me feel great, and I'm going to continue to have success, and I'm going to continue to be part of this community. So hopefully these people I listen here, hopefully they do become friends. Hopefully, as I grow in keto and the more and more, hopefully I can help other people, and maybe hopefully somebody's sitting here, a year from now, making a video saying they found me and that's why they decided to make a change in their life. I'd love to give back to the keto community in that way, because keto changed my life. So why keto? Because it can change your life and it can make you feel awesome. So look forward to seeing you guys and interacting with you guys and having the time of our lives going forward, and seeing the progress we all make, and seeing some of the amazing food that we can eat, and just talking about random stuff all around. Go follow all of those people that I mentioned. I will try my best to tag all of them in the post below, in the details and where you can find them. So yeah, so for that, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, contact us, follow us on Instagram, and like, subscribe, whatever you got to do, because we got more videos coming, and it's going to be an awesome blast of a time. All right, guys, see you later.